Two teams fighting for their playoff lives going head-to-head here tonight as the USL Championship action continues here in Week 25. New Mexico United hosting FC Tulsa. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. To our right, we have our Spanish language broadcast team, Manny Esquivel, David Estrada. ¿Cómo estás, hermanos?
Gracias, amigos. El día de hoy, David, se nos viene un partido donde ambos necesitan los 3 puntos, pero sobre todo United porque juega en casa aparte.
Sí, partidazo esta noche. New Mexico United ocupa esos 3 puntos.
Así es.
It's going to be a good one here tonight, Chris, but before that, let's look back as New Mexico in action on Wednesday as they were taking on Western Conference foe Oakland Roots. It started off for New Mexico. They were sort of on the front foot for the first half hour, Chris. We see this big save by Alex Tambakis, but after that, it was Oakland Roots in dominating fashion.
Yeah, busy home schedule for New Mexico United. It started on Wednesday with Oakland Roots, and early on, you really couldn't tell what was coming. New Mexico United, like you said, especially through Reyes, started really brightly. 2 goals for Oakland Roots, put them obviously on the front foot and really dampened the crowd here for New Mexico United. Late on, New Mexico managed to pull one back. A couple of huge saves from Tambakis during the game, which honestly could have made the result a whole lot worse. But finished kind of positive at the end of the game, hopefully taking some of that positivity into today. Playing East in opposition, played 5 times so far against the East, 3 wins, 2 losses, so there's some good news. The only time New Mexico United have played at home versus the East, a 1-0 win versus Detroit.
They'll try to get back on it tonight here. Let's dive further into the matchup with our players to watch tonight presented by Toyota. We're going to be keeping an eye on Rashid Tete and Sergio Rivas. Take it away, gentlemen.
Así es, Taylor. Bueno, el día de hoy, David, vamos a hablar de estos dos jugadores. Si es que tú conoces muy bien a Rashid Tete, estuvo aquí más de 80 partidos aquí, David, desde el 2019 hasta el 2022. Tuviste la oportunidad de jugar con él. Aparte que es un líder en la defensa, es un jugador que pocas pelotas va a dejar pasar por aire y también es un gran barredor. Ahora, del otro lado, pues Sergio Rivas tendrá que enfrentarse a su ex compañero. ¿Qué me dices de Rashid Tete y también de Sergio Rivas?
Bueno, Rashid Tete ya lo conocemos aquí. Creo que Rashid Tete tiene un error por partido. Nosotros tenemos que capitalizar en ese error. Y obviamente Sergio Rivas, cuando el equipo juega por él, puede ser muy efectivo en el ataque. Esperemos que esta noche Sergio Rivas esté en su partido.
Así es, un gran partido que usted no se puede perder y que se viene todo a continuación.
Thank you, guys. The 2023 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary. We'll be back on the other side of this with lineups and kickoff.
So much has changed in the 5 years since New Mexico United took the pitch for the first time in 2019. But since then, one constant has been the incredible support and financial guidance of REDW. Our partnership has grown stronger and closer together as the club continues to excite, inspire, and help connect the people of New Mexico. REDW will be with us every step of the way. Everything we do on the pitch and in the community is powered by the strategic thinking and expertise of the advisors at REDW. With an eye on longevity, shared values, and purpose, United and REDW will continue to team up and make meaningful contributions for all New Mexicans. Somos Unidos.
I landed my first trick at age 11. It's always been a family thing. Just the 3 of us, out skating the city. Albuquerque has heart. It lifted me up, all the way to my dream of skating in the Olympics.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Welcome back here to the lab. Tonight's match brought to you by Rich Ford, your new and used car dealer for 62 years. Chris, let's have a look at our lineups real quick here before kickoff, brought to you by Bud Light. Starting off first with the home side here. We see a number of changes here for Eric Quill. For Austin Yearwood, we see getting the start at left back, Sam Hamilton. A first start in black and yellow for Zico Bailey as well. Now on the other side for Blair Gavin and FC Tulsa, you're going to see two changes from the side that lost to Birmingham Legion in the midweek. Getting the starts tonight are Keegan Hughes and Angel Bernal. Keegan Hughes, the on loan. He's here from Columbus Crew. He was signed on loan in August last year. And we are ready to go here at the lab. It's Somos Unidos Foundation night as FC Tulsa in the road whites, New Mexico in their home black and yellow strips. Philip Goodrum in the center circle. And we are underway from the lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on hand. And Chris, as we said in the pre-match, these are two teams that are fighting for their playoff lives here. New Mexico currently outside the playoff picture. Tulsa teetering on the line, sitting in 8th place right now. I'm sure we're going to see these teams playing with a sense of urgency here tonight.
Yeah, I don't think it can be understated really how important this game is for both teams, both organizations. You know, like both sitting on 29 points, interestingly. Tulsa will play 2 more games than New Mexico United. But yeah, New Mexico United, 10th place, looking up at Phoenix and El Paso seem like the two most likely, especially with El Paso won today against Hartford, a 2-0 win. But it seems like those are the two that maybe New Mexico United will be setting their sights on to try and reel them in. But it really is getting down to the point of the season where it's now or never.
You know, and we heard from Eric Quill in the post-game press conference on Wednesday. When he was asked about the number of new signings that he's brought in, of course, you see Schneider Borgelin out there. You see Zico Bailey, Jacobo Reyes as well. 5 new players brought in under Eric Quill. You know, and he said it himself. He's like, the thing that they need is time, so that way they can figure out the chemistry. And the thing that they don't have is time with the crammed run of games coming up.
Yeah, and you know, and especially with this. It's feast or famine, it seems like, with Mexico United. You never have a home game for months, then all of a sudden 4 come along. It's like London buses. 4 come along at once. But, you can see is what he sees, a little bit of urgency early on here.
And Harry Swartz has opened up the scoring just 90 seconds in here. And New Mexico has erupted. A big-time goal for the Boston boy, Harry Swartz. That's his 4th of the campaign. And as we were saying, they needed that.
You could tell there was the urgency there. I think it was Santi Moore picked the ball up on the right there and just drove in. And the ball in, it kind of bobbled up a little bit. And Schwartz did a great job. He was kind of facing away from goal. It's like a side volley, maybe not quite a bicycle kick. But Zico Bailey, I think it was, like I say, Santi Moore rolls the ball to Bailey. And then that finish there under a lot of pressure. And, what a great finish. And I tell you what, that could be the medicine where the things that New Mexico fans will be hoping now is go get a second. Let's get on a little bit of a roll here if you're a New Mexico United fan. Early start, Tulsa a little bit rattled. That's not the start that they wanted. This is just as big a game for them as it is for New Mexico United. But the other side isn't New Mexico United. Here come Tulsa.
Tulsa looking for an answer immediately, and they almost got one. That was Marcus Epps flying down the left side. He had people arriving at the back post. I believe it was Josef and Goodrum, but what a start here.
Josef couldn't have been more than a millimetre away from making contact there, and any kind of contact, it's in the back of the net, because that cross was fizzed in with a bunch of pace from Epps, and there, so close to just poking the ball home. Austin Yearwood probably did enough just to put him off there.
Replays, as always, brought to you by TLC Plumbing. TLC is the leader in New Mexico when it comes to plumbing, heating, and cooling home and business service needs. So we came to see a soccer match and a track meet has erupted here through the first 3 minutes.
So I just need to, normally I need to catch my breath after running up those stairs, but it's really the start of the game here.
Bailey getting his first start here tonight for New Mexico. He was just acquired earlier this week. Came over from Western Conference club San Antonio. Had 11 appearances there for the defending champions over the season. 6 of those starts, scored once, assisted once. came on, Chris, as a second half sub pretty early in the second half, actually, on Wednesday, and he impressed.
Yeah, he really did. He brought some energy and he won some great tackles, and then you could see maybe the adrenaline was coursing through him a little bit because, you know, he wanted to impress everyone who plays in front of these fans here at the lab. They want to impress as early as possible, and I tell you what, getting his first assist in his first start will do him no end harm.
Foul called on the captain, Eric Bird. Fiesta Auto free kick coming up here. That is the gaffer, Eric Quill. This is our PNM Coaches Spotlight. As I mentioned earlier, signed 5 players since taking over in mid-June. This is Austin Yearwood. Yearwood making his 98th USL Championship appearance for New Mexico tonight. One of 4 players that has been on the roster since day one, alongside Sam Hamilton, Josh Suggs, Daniel Bruce. And, one of those players that was part of that group last season, no longer playing for New Mexico, as Tambak is able to clear that one away. It's Rashid Tete. We talked about him in the build-up. He's starting on the back line for Tulsa here today, following the first 4 seasons of his professional career here in Albuquerque. His first time back at the lab.
And it's great to see him back. Obviously, I think it was a very successful stint that he had here, where I think it was his first year he got Rookie of the Year, is that right? And he was an absolute beast that first year for New Mexico United, and always really dependable, and just, you know, defending, it's kind of a lost art these days. You know, everyone talks about ball playing centre backs and playing out from the back, and Rashid Tete, I'm not saying he's not good with his feet at all, but he is a darn good defender.
Well said. As New Mexico probing around here. This is Justin Portillo, plays it back to Austin Yearwood, the Charlotte, North Carolina native Yearwood. Former Richmond Kickers man. Wilson able to get that one away, but New Mexico comes back under possession. That's going to give us time now for this 5:29 game update, brought to you by the Education Plan, New Mexico's state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com.
You can see that goal's just really settled down the New Mexico United players. I'm sure they were feeling the nerves. You can't ignore, you can't avoid the league table, and just seeing the amount of games that are left, it's just getting lower and lower. So getting such an early goal, you can see they look really comfortable on the ball. Still in a 3-back. It looks like Harry Schwartz out on the left, where Josh Suggs was on Wednesday night, and Zico Bailey on the right, with Santi Moar just outside him as well. Maybe a back 4, maybe Zico Bailey's the right back and Harry Schwartz the left. They keep kind of fluctuating in and out of a back 3 and a back 4, but it's still Borgelin up top leading the line.
Second half of our PNM Coaches Spotlight, that is Blair Gavin, his first season at the helm of FC Tulsa, former Columbus Crew assistant. Yearwood will see this one out. So an early goal for New Mexico coming just 2 minutes in by way of Harry Schwartz, his 4th goal of the season. These are our Garcia Automotive Group keys to the game for New Mexico. Who will break this streak? Apparently Harry Schwartz is the answer here early on. Capitalize on home field advantage as well. Tulsa coming into this one, as we mentioned, 8th in the East. Goes back to Segrist, the former Switchbacks man. As this an opportunity and a big-time defensive stop by Austin Yearwood, and Austin Yearwood is down. And immediately calling for the trainer.
What a tackle. What a tackle by Austin Yearwood. Clearly saved the goal there. Completely incidental, but he gets absolutely creamed in the face as well there. Just gets kicked as he's fallen to the ground. Yosef, he just completely accidentally there, just spins around and catches it as he rolls over and just catches him in the face. So like I say, completely incidental, but what a tackle that is by Austin Yearwood. Been out of the team for a little bit and already earned his paycheck for the week right there.
Big time defending there from Austin Yearwood. It's the only number 3 in New Mexico United history, as we mentioned, one of the
4 players that's been here since day one. Looks like Yearwood is all right. We can see him heading over to the 4th official. He'll be re-entering here just momentarily. Talking about that Harry Swartz goal in the 2nd minute, brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. It's New Mexico looking for another. Here's Reyes. He felt as though he was fouled. No call from the official. That's Gerald Flores running the show in the center. Here comes Zico Bailey. They're going to play it to the other new signee, Schneider Borgelin. Moar goes down, hoping to win the free kick. Does not. Goodrum will win the free kick. He tried to play it quickly, and Sam Hamilton was there. Here's Moar. Santi Moar with the left foot. Was going wide the entire way.
So that left side of Tulsa have got their hands full. Santi Moar certainly looks in the mood today as well, and it looks like Santi Moar and Reyes just playing just behind Borgel in there, and Zico Bailey, every time he gets the ball, I just love seeing how positive he is. His first touch is always forwards, and it was the same on Wednesday night when he came on. That was the energy and the difference that he made, really, is his first touch just goes at defenders, and it's terrifying as a defender when people just run at you. Again, that right side of New Mexico United looks like it's very much in the mood tonight.
Amore Neapolitan Pizzeria says thank you for 10 amazing years as New Mexico's first and only certified pizzerias. Yeah, I know we were kind of talking about this earlier, Chris, when we saw the starting lineup. How exactly are they going to look? You know, we think about Zico Bailey and what we saw, as you mentioned, in the second half on Wednesday, where he was able to get forward. Traditionally, a place occupied by Harry Swartz, and we've seen from Eric Quill that he's just going to put Swartz on the other side.
Yeah, and it is, and like I say, it's it is actually really hard to pick out what they're playing like right now. You know, the Austin Yearwood playing pretty reserved back there, but my estimation is that he is the left back and Zico Bailey is the right back, so it's maybe a lopsided back four. You know, with Austin Yearwood given a little bit more license to protect the centre backs, and Zico Bailey's pretty much being told go for it.
As Moar gets it back to Justin Portillo. Zico Bailey completed 71% of his passes after coming on as a sub on Wednesday. Keeping tally, it was 15 for 21. There's Hamilton, the captain. Got an offside flag up on Harry Swartz. That's going to give us time here for this Ben Sherman Law injury report. Injured at work. Ben Sherman can help. And here's the names for New Mexico: Christian Nava, Chris Wehan, Nicky Hernandez, and Daniel Bruce. Certainly, Eric Quill and the coaching staff wishing they could get any of those guys back in this lineup.
Yeah, and it's New Mexico United obviously on Wednesday night conceding those 2 goals. It's really hard to win games when you have to score 3 to win them. That would be the first thing you say. But I think we mentioned it on the broadcast on Wednesday as well, how important the first goal is. And again, that can't be understated, how important it is that New Mexico United have got their noses in front here, settled down. Tulsa are starting to have a little period here, though, where they're having a little bit more of the ball, enjoying a little bit of possession, trying to knock it around, but they haven't really. There's been a couple of little flashes. Obviously, there was the Austin Yearwood challenge, and there's been some chances where they're really looking for runners in behind. It seems like that's what they're looking for. A couple of shorter passes, then can they spring someone in behind the New Mexico United back line?
You were talking about, Chris, how important for New Mexico it is to score the first goal here when playing at home. On the season, they've scored the opening goal 6 times here at the Lab. Their record in those 6 games, 5 wins and 1 draw. All 5 of their wins at home this season have come when they've scored first.
And that's around the world in soccer. Like the first goal, it's not a it's not written in stone. Obviously, like I think we mentioned it again. Like I say, I keep talking about Wednesday, but we did mention it where, you know, the comebacks are the one that people talk about, but the reason why they are is because those are the exceptions to the rule. The first goal does tend to be very, very important.
Here's Epps as he unleashes one. It was deflected, and so a Bank of America corner kick coming up here for the visitors. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. It's going to be Milo Yosef coming over to take this one. Yosef, the 24-year-old German. You can see Epps searching for his 7th goal of the season. He's the 2nd leading scorer on this FC Tulsa FC Tulsa club, just behind Philip Goodrum. Here's Yosef. Sends the outswinger, and it's headed away by Kalen Ryden. Falls to the former switchback, Patrick Segrist. Yosef now trying to get around Harry Swartz. It's good defending there from the goal scorer, and poked away by Jacobo Reyes. It's the Ghanaian Rashid Tete. And for New Mexico, this is just the 2nd time that these two clubs have played here at the Lab. Chris, you may or may not remember the first time they played here at the Lab. It was actually back March 20th of 2019. New Mexico victorious 2-1 that day, as Santi Moar looking to lay this one off, and Reyes sends this right into the waiting hands of Michael Nelson. But as I was saying, last time these two teams met here, March 20th, 2019, New Mexico 2, Tulsa 1. Back then they were the Tulsa Roughnecks. It was the first club win in New Mexico United history, after they had started off with 2 consecutive draws, starting off here first with Fresno, and then, of course, going on the road to Phoenix. They then came back, picked up their first win. It was Devin Sandoval scoring in the 7th minute, and Santi Moar adding the insurance goal in the 20th minute. It was only the 2nd home match in New Mexico United club history as well. So it's been a while.
It's been a minute, yeah.
It's good defending there from Sam Hamilton, as Epps able to get this back to Segrist. Into the box now is Tulsa, and a big challenge there from Santi Moar. So Fiesta Auto free kick coming up here for New Mexico. We've got some time. Let's tell you about Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Borgelin sends this one to Nelson as well, as Schneider Borgelin still waiting to open up his black and yellow account.
Yeah, that unfortunately looked like a striker who was a little low on confidence maybe. He kind of snatched at it. He probably had time to take a touch, try and commit the goalkeeper one way or the other. He took it so early and just didn't get any kind of power on it. So pretty comfortable for the goalkeeper Nelson.
For Tulsa this season, it's been tough sledding when conceding the opening goal. Just 1 win, 3 draws, 9 losses. So they've got some work cut out ahead of them here tonight. It's Hamilton able to lay this off to Moar. Hamilton going on a run. Here's Moar now. He was closed down by Bird. It's the 2021 USL Championship Goal of the Year winner, Austin Yearwood. So he sends that over Schneider Borgelin.
We talked in the pre-game about how New Mexico United have actually, I'd say, probably enjoyed their games against the East Coast so far. The one home game that they've had against Detroit was a 1-0 win. On the flip side, Tulsa have really enjoyed playing West Coast teams. While they've only had 1 win, they've played 8 games. This will be the 9th game versus West Coast opposition. And they've only had two losses to the West Coast. They have only had one win, but five ties in that so far this season. So New Mexico United getting that second goal, I think, will be the key, because certainly Tulsa, they're far from out of this game early on, and they'll be looking to get back. And if they get back into it in the first half, they'll be looking to take all 3 points in the second.
Hamilton draws the foul as get back to it, and now Reyes picking up the foul. Back-to-back free kicks here for New Mexico. Looks like we've actually got a yellow card as well. So we'll await confirmation on that yellow card. It looked to be Yosef. Magic minute here at the lab. It's the nearing 10,000 here this evening. Fantastic support as always here in Albuquerque for this club. Here's Portillo going back post. He was looking for the run of Kalen Ryden. Here's Bailey now, and Bailey is stuffed. Bailey does well to win the ball back, and someone's going to come back to Tambakis, and in a tough spot for the Greek goalkeeper. Epps nearly coming away with the deflection there.
That was a heart-in-mouth moment there. It was really impressed. The pace of Zico Bailey did really well to get back and poked it to Austin Yearwood. Austin Yearwood just under-hit the pass to Tambakis slightly, invited Epps, and Epps is rapid as well. He covered that ground so quick. Lucky ricochet.
Yosef threads it through for Goodrum. It gets just behind him, and Hamilton able to poke it away. New Mexico so far through the first 22 minutes, Chris, have done very well to bottle up Philip Goodrum. As Borgelin looking for this one. He's got support in the form of Reyes. Big time challenge. As New Mexico looking for a second.
This is unbelievable. This is the most end-to-end game you'll ever see. I mean, talk about entertainment there. Last-ditch tackle as well. We talked about the last-ditch tackle from Austin Yearwood earlier on. Then Tambakis, a lucky ricochet there to avoid Epps. And then another great tackle. Was it Segrist, I think, who came in last minute there? Because Reyes, you could see he was just trying to shift the ball onto his right foot. And you've got to fancy him if he managed to do it.
All the way back to Michael Nelson. Fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2023. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. So we talked about the last time these two teams played here, Chris. How about the last time these two teams played? You've got to look back to July of last summer. It was out at One Oak Field. New Mexico victorious that day, 2-1. Now here's a fun fact about that day. On the score sheet, Alexi Sawahi scored the opener, 54th. Justin Portillo scored in the 76th from the PK spot. FC Tulsa's goal was scored by Rashid Tete last year. It was an own goal in the 70th minute that saw the sides go level before Justin Portillo put New Mexico ahead for good. But Rashid Tete has already scored for Tulsa against New Mexico before actually playing for Tulsa. How about that?
That's one of the best stats I think you've ever brought to the table.
I feel like a mad scientist. Oh, and this could be trouble. Harry Swartz was through and just unable to settle that. On a brace is Harry Swartz. And a Bank of America corner kick coming up here for the black and yellow.
There's another chance from really nothing, and you could see he was just waiting for it to drop a little lower to try and get it on his right foot, and I think it was Hughes came in at the last second there and pulled away. Another last-ditch tackle to save a really good scoring chance. What's that? 5 per side? Been a great start to this game.
Corner goes in, deflected, cleared away from in front of Harry Swartz. It's Keegan Hughes. Excuse me, that was Rucci, excuse me. Tulsa going back to their back 3 approach here tonight. Traditionally sit in a back 3. They tried out the back 4 on Wednesday, and Nico Brett had a 15-minute hat trick. So it seems as though Blair Gavin going back his back 3 here tonight. And if you weren't watching our game here on Wednesday, hopefully you were tuned into this one here, a 4-game shootout between, or a 4-goal shootout, excuse me, between FC Tulsa and Birmingham Legion. Philip Goodrum opening the scoring early, and then, as I mentioned, the former New Mexico United man, Nico Brett, bagging a hat trick over about a 15-minute time span. And he has been in absolutely stellar form out there in Birmingham.
I was just about to say, that's something that New Mexico United fans will be thinking, what could have been. Just injuries really plagued his time here at New Mexico United. I think it was a knee injury, really just kind of niggled on for so long that he just never really got a run in the team.
And what a run here from Zico Bailey. He's got Swartz arriving at the back post, goes for Borgelin instead. It's going to fall to Reyes. Second attempt. And drags it wide, does Jacobo Reyes. Promising for New Mexico here through 27 minutes.
I can't wait to see the highlights at halftime. I think they're going to be about 20 minutes long. The entire halftime sequence is just going to be highlights.
Both teams really able to get forward here tonight. Yearwood draws the foul. Free kick coming up. There's Rivas. He scored on Wednesday night. New Mexico second leading scorer this season with 5 goals. Sergio Rivas, the Albuquerque native. Graduated from Cibola High School on the west side of Albuquerque. And Zico Bailey will be shown yellow for the tug of the shirt there. 27th minute yellow card for Zico Bailey. Brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. You've been fouled. Call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Back to Rucci. Here's Rashid Tete. Tete in his 4 seasons with New Mexico, a stellar defender, never found the back of the net. Just kind of hard to believe. Figures as much as New Mexico was getting a ton of set pieces and whatnot.
Well, he did. He just told the story.
Well, fair enough. Touche. There's Epps. Trying to wiggle free of Hamilton. Instead, has to go back to Rucci. It's the Spaniard. Finds Yosef. Yosef draws the foul. Sergio Rivas. Back to Sam Hamilton. Sam Hamilton tonight making his 99th USL Championship appearance for New Mexico United. He's the second captain in club history following Josh Suggs. Suggs on the bench tonight. Here's Bailey. And Suggs, in the twilight of his career, I'm sure he'll be the first to tell you that, but he's been getting a lot of minutes lately, especially under new head coach Eric Quill.
Yeah, for sure, and you can see, going into the game tonight, you mentioned it in the lineups, when the lineups were announced, 4 changes, the most that a team has been changed, other than for the Open Cup games, but from league game to league game, the most changes that New Mexico United have done all season, 4 changes, which you can just see. I think you brought it up, in the presser after Wednesday night. Doesn't have time, so has to kind of try different things within the game. So Reyes and Borgelin trying to get some chemistry up top. Santi Moar preferred to Armando Moreno tonight. Whether that's a rotation or whether that's trying something different. Moreno got through a lot of miles. He was really working on Wednesday night, and you could see the frustration as well. So maybe that's more of just a quick turnaround on the games. But yeah, it's interesting to see. Suggs, I'm sure, will be back in and around the starting lineup potentially on Wednesday night for the next home game.
Here's Santi Moar. Harry Swartz lays it off for Justin Portillo. Good link-up play to Harry Swartz. And the cross deflected. Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. Corner kick coming up. The rain starting to come down. Got through a little bit of rain on Wednesday. See what it looks like here this evening as we continue on. Corner goes into the back post. It was Hamilton. There'll be a goal kick coming up here for Tulsa.
Decent ball in, obviously. Justin Portillo, we know that's his superpower, if you will, where just got a great delivery and always seems to find his man there. And Sam Hamilton had just found a tiny little bit of space there, managed to create a little separation from his mark, but couldn't quite get the direction on it.
Philip Goodrum with Kalen Ryden on his back. Ryden, a Oklahoma native himself, out of Norman. Nelson, the Houston Dynamo loanee. He's made a few appearances in the MLS. Had a couple last season, had 11 in 2021. Previously spent some time in RGV as well back in 2018, 2019. Some final scores from around the league. El Paso Locomotive able to get the train back on the tracks tonight. 2-0 win out in Hartford. I'm sure for Locomotive fans, first win in what feels like ages.
Yeah, it has to be, right? And that's where New Mexico United was a little.
Moar unleashes this one over the crossbar.
A little shocking when New Mexico United, everyone was shocked New Mexico United coming out there because Hartford had a tough go of it over recent months, and that's another thing for New Mexico United this next obviously Wednesday night. Las Vegas come to town, isn't that right? And you got to imagine if New Mexico United can pull off a win tonight. Obviously Las Vegas 2 wins all season, unless they pulled one off today. So you got to imagine that they would feel good about potentially managing to string a couple of results together, and then that would set them up nice going into the fourth of the home games the following Saturday and against Birmingham. And yeah, see, you know, because if you get a little run going, you can see again that the one thing that is good about the West is it is still so congested. No one's really pulled away, especially in those bottom playoff spots. So it is right there in front of New Mexico United if they can manage to pull it together.
Well, in order for that, New Mexico needs 3 points here tonight. Goodrum, very speedy player, very athletic player is Philip Goodrum. Very physical as well. He's not afraid to get his body in there.
Yeah, he's a proper number 9. He really is a proper number 9. He's very strong, holds the ball up, brings other guys into the game. And obviously, he's had a very good season so far.
Foul called against New Mexico, much to the dismay of the crowd here. Free kick for Tulsa to get us restarted. We'll have another look at this TLC replay here. Bernal went airborne. Here's Bird. Has that one taken off by Sergio Rivas. Yearwood pokes it forward for Reyes. Reyes finds the head of Marcus Epps. Goodrum looking for Epps. The journeyman Marcus Epps. He has been all over the place in his playing career. Looks like 9 clubs over the last 9 years for Marcus Epps. Over the last 6 years, excuse me. Did spend brief time in MLS, made 19 appearances for Philadelphia Union in 2017. The following season, still with Union, did 13 appearances. Since then, majority of his time has been spent in the USL Championship, playing for Memphis, Red Bulls 2, Timbers 2, San Antonio, FC Tulsa, and Phoenix Rising as well. Here's Swartz. One headed away by Bird. The ensuing header goes wide.
Yeah, it was a difficult chance there for Borgelin, and Harry Schwartz just keeps popping up. Seems like it's New Mexico United's most dangerous player right now, you know, and for so long, New Mexico United fans, ourselves, have known him as, you know, outside back. And obviously he scored early on, I believe it was last season, before injuries started playing a factor on his involvement, right? And you know, but now it's every time something good is happening in and around the 18-yard box for New Mexico United, Harry Schwartz seems to be right in the middle of it.
4 goals on the season for Harry Schwartz, making his 66th appearance in league play for the Black and Yellow since coming over in 2021. Scored 6 times last season in 29 appearances. And his goal today is his 10th in his New Mexico United career. And he's become a fan favorite. He's one of those players that the fans here like a Daniel Bruce, that, you know, every single game, Harry Schwartz, he's not going to have anything left by the full-time whistle.
It's hot on the sleeve kind of stuff, right? And that's what's appreciated by the fan base here. You know, it's a very... that's the mentality here in New Mexico, right? Hard work and really down-to-earth people, and that's what Harry Schwartz seems to be as well. Same as Daniel Bruce, like you said, Austin Yearwood, Kalen Ryden, all these guys. Just to name a couple, they're all just hard-working guys that represent the state.
Drum took a bit of a knock there from Kalen Ryden. Rucci. To Alex Tambakis. 37 goals conceded coming into this one. He's got 4 clean sheets in 24 appearances for New Mexico. He's making his 85th league appearance for the black and yellow here tonight. And a yellow card is shown to Philip Goodrum here in the 40th minute. And some extracurriculars going on. So we'll let the officials sort this out. But at the very least, we know that Philip Goodrum will be seen yellow. He'll join Rashid Tete in the officials' book for FC Tulsa, along with Zico Bailey for New Mexico. So it looks like Reyes will also pick up a yellow card.
There was one more in there as well. I have to assume it was Sergio Rivas, but I'm not 100% set on that. There was cards getting flashed all over, so we'll wait to get any kind of confirmation there. But there was definitely at least one other yellow card in there. But Sergio Rivas definitely took exception to that foul there. And we just said about how Goodrum's not shy about getting involved in the physicality. And maybe Sergio Rivas felt like he'd left one on him there. And, you know, you love to see it in terms of backing up his teammate. But then, it seemed like he went head-to-head, and that's a risky thing to do in this day and age, where immediately any kind of action like that, and you could be seeing red. So I think the referee handled it well there. He just waited for it to calm down, and it was all to do about nothing. You see Rivas right now, he's still having words there. I think that's Yosef, still having words with him as well. One to keep an eye on.
Long ball looking for the run of Philip Goodrum. Goodrum able to come down with it, and Goodrum blasts this one over the crossbar.
I actually think Goodrum got a little lucky there. You can see as the ball's in the air, he just takes a little look at Caelan Ryden and runs right in front of his path and almost tries to trip him, almost. And Caelan Ryden obviously falls down, but there was no call. And the fact that Goodrum wasn't even looking at the ball, it seemed like maybe lucky to not get a foul against him, but nothing came of it.
Here's Bird. Rivas arriving. Epps now. Epps. That one's dealt with by Caelan Ryden.
That Goodrum shot seems like that was the first shot that Tulsa have had in a while. It's been a little, very much a midfield battle. New Mexico United, Harry Schwartz specifically. Borgelin has had a few attempts as well, but you know it's been very much down that end of the field, and it feels like, well, Tulsa have looked dangerous in terms of getting in behind New Mexico United. They've maybe struggled to get that final piece right.
Yeah, and you were absolutely spot on with that. New Mexico had attempted the previous 7 shots in this game prior to that one from Goodrum that went over the bar. The last FC Tulsa shot that was taken was by Marcus Epps in the 15th minute. And also, for what it's worth, Tulsa yet to have a shot on frame here tonight.
A lot of that is down to, again, going back to how big that tackle was by Austin Yearwood early on. That was trouble. That was trouble for New Mexico United. That was a huge opportunity for Tulsa, and stuffed out there by Austin Yearwood. That seems like a long time ago now.
This is Austin Yearwood on the ball. Would look to have just mishit that. Good touch from Schwartz, and Schwartz draws the foul. And Harry Schwartz, we mentioned, he usually doesn't have anything left after these games, and generally takes a little bit of a beating.
Yeah, he looks like he's walking a little gingerly there. Maybe got a little knock. Hopefully not too bad, because we did mention earlier on it is something that's been a factor in his career, especially at New Mexico United, where injuries have taken a little bit of a toll. But hopefully that's one that he can just walk off.
When you look at the subs here for Eric Quill, you've got Josh Suggs, which is essentially a like-for-like change there with Harry Schwartz, but also a couple of other defenders as well, and Will Seymour and Kyle Colonna. This is Harry Schwartz, finds Reyes. The trouble dealt with there It was worth coming in.
What a ball by Justin Portillo there. That was like a 60-yard on an absolute dime for Harry Schwartz there.
Justin Portillo, he's been the main creator for this New Mexico United squad this season. Leads the team with 36 chances created.
Just to show how important it is, that you say 36, the next closest is Sergio Rivas with 23. Same as on for Tulsa. Yosef is their leader in terms of chances created with 42. Nearest guy to him with 22.
Wow. Well, you can see Yosef, he's been heavily involved here so far. Here's Rivas. Rivas. Shot attempt is blocked. This one comes back. New Mexico with another opportunity here. Schwartz. Gonna get to the end line and put a cross in. That one blocked out by Yosef. Schwartz takes a heavy tumble. That was Tete, excuse me. We are officially into New Mexico Piñon Coffee stoppage time. 2 minutes. Great coffee, Chris, is a matter of opinion. Rain really starting to come down here now. Portillo, you can see Zico Bailey near the keeper.
Another absolutely wicked ball in there by Portillo, and you can see, I think it was Kalen Ryden looked like closest to it. Any kind of touch, it was hitting the back of the net.
Ryden went down in the box, no call from the official. Schwartz able to come down with it now. Portillo, New Orleans native, has that one blocked out. There's more. Bailey lets this one run. Reyes now comes to Rivas, and Sergio Rivas has scored his second goal in as many games this week, his 6th on the campaign, and the Albuquerque native is feeling it.
Special mention, Zico Bailey will not get anything on the stat sheet, lets the ball run through his legs to Reyes, and Reyes puts an absolute peach of a cross in. And Sergio Rivas doesn't even have to move, he's standing still, finds his head, and just guides it into the back of the net. What a great time for New Mexico United to get that second goal.
That goal brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. These two just started playing together, but the trust is there. What a ball in from Reyes. What a finish from Rivas. 2-0, New Mexico lead before the break.
I say that, and you can see Sergio Rivas, he barely has to move. He takes like 3 steps and just plants his feet and gets so much power. So much power in the direction as well. Means Nelson has absolutely no chance.
So Rivas in the 2nd minute of a first half stoppage time, finding the back of the net, and that's the end of the first half here in Albuquerque. New Mexico scoring early, scoring late, 2-0 lead. Give us your thoughts, Chris.
Yeah, great way to bookend the half. What a great game it's been. End to end at times, and maybe while the chances dried up a little bit towards the end, it's been a very, very entertaining first half.
The 2 goal scorers, Harry Schwartz, Sergio Rivas, make their way back to the locker room. The halftime score here, presented by First Financial Credit Union. New Mexico 2, FC Tulsa 0. We'll be back on the other side of this with halftime.
Since 1966, BIOS has provided quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses to Albuquerque and New Mexico.
And from day one, we've done everything as a team. Our commitment to our team, our community, and innovation has allowed us to serve Albuquerque and our surrounding areas for more than 50 years. We are proud to partner with New Mexico United.
Because both of us believe in the values of loyalty, service, and togetherness.
Our longevity and growth is because we are united.
Somos unidos.
Flamenco is a language. Every step a verse, every movement a phrase. born in Spain and expressed here in New Mexico.
Dime que sí, dime que no, anda dime primita de mi corazón.
The 2023 summer concert season is here at Sandia Resort and Casino. Join us this summer at Albuquerque's best concert venue for a season to remember. June 23rd, Ludacris. July 20th, Old Dominion. July 28th, Buddy Guy and Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Tickets available now at sandiacasino.com or the box office. The 2023 summer concert season at Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Part desert, part mountain, part river. Albuquerque offers outdoor exhilaration you can't find anywhere else. Spend the perfect day hiking, biking, or even hot air ballooning, all within minutes of a vibrant city. Whether you're exploring hundreds of miles of trails or hundreds of years of history, Albuquerque will take your breath away. Start planning your Albuquerque adventure at visitabq.org.
Back here at the lab, it is halftime, brought to you by Smith's Fresh for Everyone, as New Mexico United leading FC Tulsa 2-0 by way of goals from Sergio Rivas and Harry Swartz in the first half. Plenty to get into here tonight, Chris, so let's jump into it here, starting off first with a look at the standings. New Mexico coming into this one on the outside looking in, looking to make up some ground here tonight.
Yeah, and you know, right now looking on course to potentially at least leapfrog RGV, which would be huge, right on the coattails of El Paso and Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, 3 points would go a long way here tonight for New Mexico as we move on to our news and notes from around the league. Some somber news we bring to you here tonight as San Diego Loyal have announced this is their final season. They announced just a couple of days ago. So details on the transfer of the franchise rights, etc., all coming up in the coming months. Big love going out to Loyal, their fan base, everybody involved with that club. They have been class since their inception. Detroit City announcing a new sporting director. They're going to promote their head coach, Trevor James, to become the club's first sporting director in El Paso Locomotive. Their winless run was double digits. As we mentioned earlier, they picked up a win out in Hartford today and snapped that streak, picking up their first win since the middle of June. So our upcoming schedule here around the league. A double dose of New Mexico again next week. We'll be here on Wednesday as we host Las Vegas Lights, 7 p.m. kickoff. Then again Saturday as New Mexico getting into a lot of cross-conference matchups here down the stretch, starting off first with Charleston Battery on Saturday night. You can see a few other games going on there as well. Phoenix Rising, Sac Republic, that's a big Western Conference matchup. And Springs Switchbacks taking on Lou City on Saturday. That one could provide big playoff implications there as well. So moving along here, the upcoming schedule for New Mexico. We told you about the upcoming 2. Well, 3 of the next 5 here at home as they're hitting the road to take on their former teammates Nico Brett and now Preston Tabordataka. He's out in Birmingham following a recent transfer from Las Vegas Lights. And we'll be back here against Indy 11 on September 15th. And then New Mexico hitting the road out to Heart Health Park. They'll take on Sac Republic on September 20th. The upcoming run of games here for FC Tulsa. And it's a tough one here, Chris. Starting off first with the defending champs, San Antonio. Then you get Phoenix. We've seen what Oakland can do. Charleston also atop the East. That is a tough stretch.
Yeah, it is, exactly. And you can see the cross-conference. I love this side of the USL Championship as well. It's great being able to see some of these teams that are in different conferences as well. And let's say Tulsa have actually done really well so far this season, or done decent, I guess, against West Coast opposition.
Team of the week here for USL Championship Week 24. A couple of familiar faces here for New Mexico. Kyle Colonna, after scoring on the weekend in San Diego last time out. Also Justin Portillo. See Rivas getting the nod as your eFootball Player of the Week. We're going to go ahead and step aside. We'll be back with more halftime after this.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Halftime here at the Lab. New Mexico United on top of FC Tulsa 2-0. Your halftime score brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. Chris, plenty going on in the first half. Let's have a look at those first half highlights. I know you alluded to it. There was plenty of action, and it started just over 90 seconds into this one. Harry Swartz picking up his 4th goal of the season.
Zico Bailey heavily involved in both goals. Great ball in there to Schwartz. You see that touch, it just kind of pops up a little bit. He does really well to adjust his body and fire it low into the left of the goalkeeper where he can't get there. What a great start that was for New Mexico United, and you can see how much it means to those guys.
And for Harry Swartz, that is his 10th goal that he scored for New Mexico. But quickly, FC Tulsa looking for an answer. Marcus Epps has been all over the place.
That was literally right off the kickoff, and I think at that point we were just gasping for air, trying to work out what was going on. And later on in the half as well, what a tackle that was by Austin Yearwood. Gets smashed in the face just for good measure as well. But what a great tackle. Surely was going to be a goal. Had already rounded the goalkeeper. I think it was Harry Swartz, or Caelan Bryden was struggling as well. So it was a great tackle. And there's the second goal. Great time to score it right before half-time. The bit that won't be mentioned again on the stat sheets is that dummy by Zico Bailey where he just lets the ball run into Reyes' path. He just picks out Rivas where he barely has to move and uses his head to guide it, gets so much power on it just because of the pace of the cross, and just guides it into the back of the net where Nelson can't do a thing about it.
6th goal of the season for the Albuquerque native Sergio Rivas. These are our first half stats here for New Mexico. And you can see it. It's possession 50-50, but again, it's not about possession, it's what you do with it.
It is, and that's what we said on Wednesday as well, right? Is New Mexico United had a lot of the ball but didn't really create a whole lot with it. 11 shots so far in that first half. Feels like that's been the most offensive half that New Mexico United have had all season, potentially. 50-50 on possession. And I can't believe there's only been 4 shots for Tulsa, because the way that game started, you mentioned it as well, it was like a track meet, you back and forth. They've played their part in a very entertaining first half.
These two teams both in the thick of the playoff hunt. We're going to have the second half coming up here at the Lab in just a moment. New Mexico 2, FC Tulsa 0.
National Roofing, serving New Mexico for over 45 years. From complete re-roofs to our 24/7 service department, let us help protect and extend the life of your roof today. We work with you every step of the way to solve your roofing needs quickly and professionally. Our team of roofers are always on top of it, bringing high-quality commercial roofing to New Mexico homeowners. National Roofing, local company, national name. Call 505-883-3000 or go to nationalroofing.com to schedule a roof walk today.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30.
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
This is a story about creativity, education, entrepreneurship, and cookies.
Well, mostly about cookies. Want to try one?
Kristen, where'd you learn to bake?
My grandma was my first teacher. She told me it was okay to be creative and take risks.
Like what?
Like green chili cookies. I haven't quite cracked the code on those yet.
Bummer. Was it a risk to open a bakery?
Definitely. But CNM gave me the skills to turn that passion into a reality.
That's amazing. At CNM, it's one college, infinite possibility.
The rain coming down here in Albuquerque as New Mexico on top of FC Tulsa here at the break. 2-0 coming to you here live from the lab. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. And Chris, this one has been a lot of fun here tonight.
Yeah, it really has. It's been a really entertaining first half that we talked about, and Tulsa have really played their part as well. You mentioned Epps, Yosef, Goodrum, been really, really lively, getting forward and causing all kinds of issues for New Mexico United. But the one thing that New Mexico United have managed to do is stop any kind of shots on target or really try to protect Tam Bacchus. And Austin Yearwood, who we just saw there coming onto the field, is obviously one of the guys who, I mean, to me, he stopped a certain goal. And, you know, that goes 1-1, then who knows where we'd be at right now, because that was still very early on in that first half.
Austin Yearwood making his 98th USL Championship appearance here for New Mexico tonight, and he has been absolutely massive. Let's talk about Zico Bailey as well. He played a huge hand in both goals. As you mentioned, he's making his first start here tonight. He was signed to the team just 5 days ago.
Yeah, he's just really fit in. Really has fit in like a glove there, you know. And it's, again, the second goal was almost the direct assist. It was a great cross into Harry Schwartz, but Harry Schwartz still had a lot to do. It's so impressive how Reyes and Bailey, after only playing this is the second time they've played together, 60-something minutes they've maybe played together, a couple of training sessions which would have been really light because of the heavy schedule right now, and to have that kind of chemistry where he just has a little glance and you can see all the Tulsa defenders are drawn to Zico Bailey. He recognises that, just lets the ball go through his legs. And, you know, he almost needs the hockey assist on that goal.
So we're hearing of a substitute for FC Tulsa. It sounds like Blaine Ferry has replaced Angel Bernal in the midfield. That substitution brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. Chris, there's no substitution for integrity. Second half.
I feel like that was indirectly at me.
Second half coming up here in just a moment. As we mentioned, Sergio Rivas in form, in absolute form this week. He's scored twice in as many games. He scored Wednesday. He scored here tonight. He's the second leading scorer for New Mexico with 6 goals, trailing only Amando Moreno. And if Rivas is able to find the back of the net here again tonight, he would actually tie Moreno for the club's leading goal scorer this season.
It's been a really enjoyable season for Sergio Rivas. I feel like in previous years he's really struggled to get a run of games, and it almost feels like this season he's rewarding some trust from the coaching staff. He's playing a lot of games. He's playing a lot of games in a row, and it does seem like there's that trust between the coaching staff and him that even if he's having a not his greatest game, he's still going to deliver. He's still going to deliver something, or he can still deliver something out of nothing.
Sergio Rivas, 13 goals in black and yellow since joining the club in 2021. Tonight he's making his 76th league appearance for his hometown club. And you talk about a dream come true. Score on your 75th and 76th appearances for your hometown club. Obviously having spent some time at Reno before coming over to New Mexico. Here's Segrist, marked by Bailey.
Quick off the mark there, and you can see, I don't know, sorry, I missed who that was from Tulsa, but a little step over and created a little bit of space, but Zico Bailey was so quick to catch up and make up that ground and do the other side of his game. You know, we've been talking about his offensive prowess and doing the important stuff defensively as well.
Tulsa on the front foot here for the first couple of minutes of the second half. Goodrum gets crunched there between a couple of Black and yellow defenders. Zico Bailey picked up the assist on the Harry Swartz goal in the 2nd minute. As you said, the dummy to let the ball roll on to Reyes. There's Epps looking for the run of Siegrist. Bailey able to deal with that. Goes back to the Spaniard Rucci. This is Keegan Hughes. Keegan Hughes making his 2nd appearance for FC Tulsa here tonight. On loan from Columbus Crew. Made 1 MLS appearance this season for the Crew. 9 appearances for the Crew, 2 in the MLS Next Pro League. Did score once in those 9 appearances. It's Ryden. His hands full there with Philip Goodrum.
Hey, and you mentioned earlier on about Goodrum getting like a Goodrum sandwich, right? It was between Keelan and Ryden. It was a huge defensive win by Sam Hamilton, and we talked about on Wednesday, Sam Hamilton coming back into the squad tonight and coming back into the starting lineup, and I just feel like that defensive role just seems a lot more comfortable in there. You know, he's bounced around between centre mid and centre back, and I just feel like this season specifically, he's looked very, very solid at centre back.
A high foot there from Santi Moar. Catches his fellow Spaniard Rucci, and Moar is going to be booked. 50th minute yellow card shown to Santi Moar. Seen by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. Moar goes into the book. For New Mexico, you got to feel, Chris, like they're going to want a 3rd here.
Yeah, I think because it is like one goal changes the complexion of this game, right? It's really one of the oldest cliches in sport, right? The 2-0 lead. If Tulsa get the next goal, it is absolutely game on. New Mexico and you get the goal, it's probably game over. And I think, honestly, they probably want to do it as much for the fans as anything else, just kind of because it's been such a fun game, and the weather's for New Mexico, we're very fickle with the weather, right? And it's not been the best tonight either, and all the fans, the other night, Wednesday night, the game wasn't great, so all the fans left and went into the concourse and watched the game from there. All the fans stuck it out tonight and stuck out the rain and watched it from the stands, and repay them with a 3rd goal, I'm sure, but Tulsa are still very much in this game right now.
Here's Philip Goodrum. Finds Epps, the 2 leading scorers for FC Tulsa. Big defensive play, 2nd ball played in, and it was dealt with by New Mexico. 71 degrees here at the lab. It's a beautiful, beautiful night. And for the most part, it looks like the rain has subsided. A cool breeze coming into our press box window here, Chris. Is monsoon season, is it here yet?
Let's hope so, right? Yeah, let's hope so. I don't know where it's been. Those missing posters might have finally worked, but that was in the midst of that there. I think it was Tambakis had a really good save down to his right. It looked like Goodrum tried to sneak it into the front post there, and Tambakis was wise to it. Big save, big moment of the game.
Moar asking for a foul. He's not going to get it from Gerald Flores. Epps. And he's got Yosef in space and just over hits his teammate.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration there on Epps, where he could see Yosef was in, absolutely in acres of space, and Austin Yearwood, you see how panicked he was running back there, but just carried too far and went out for a goal kick, but that was an opportunity as well.
Joseph goes down. No foul. Rivas will connect with Reyes. Rivas is going to be shown yellow. Yellow card brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. Sergio Rivas, 53rd minute. So for New Mexico, they've got to be careful. That is 4 yellow cards out there right now. Moar, Reyes, Rivas, and Bailey.
It's funny, you know, when I'm coaching, you always tell kids that the referee never sees the first offence, but he always gets the retaliation. I feel that's what Sergio Rivas was a victim of there. Worth it was, Nathan Worth, just grabbing onto Sergio Rivas, impeding him getting forward, so he gave a little... And he did. He lashed out a little bit to kind of get off me, caught him in the eye or in the face, and got the yellow card. But I remember he was involved in that fracas in the first half, and he was probably lucky to avoid getting a yellow card in that. So that could have been a very dicey moment.
Tulsa on the attack. This one falls to Bird. Tambakis, and the follow-up. Marcus Epps flagged for offside. But the initial save from Alex Tambakis to keep Tulsa out of the back of the net.
Decent strike, good save. The one thing that Tambakis is probably not quite happy is that he coughed it up right in front there, and Epps was right on the doorstep, and a sigh of relief for New Mexico United. First, when he fluffed his lines, and second, when the flag went up to allow New Mexico United to clear to get the ball out as well. But that was a huge opportunity. Great strike from midfield as well. He was just trying to get it to dip and bounce in front of Tambakis, and Tambakis is probably glad with how wet it is because of the rain from earlier that it didn't bounce just in front of him.
Tulsa looking to pull one back here in the second half. 10,000 on hand here at the lab tonight on Somos Unidos Foundation night. Somos Unidos Foundation, the nonprofit founded by New Mexico United towards the beginning of the COVID pandemic. I can't even begin to speak on what the foundation does, as they do so much. As Harry Swartz looking to pick out Moar on the back post, and the Spaniard sends this one into the crowd. He scored at home against Tulsa the last time these two teams played back in 2019, was looking to do it again.
And you say that that's maybe the theme that's going to be towards in this second half here, is New Mexico United sitting a little deeper and maybe soaking up some pressure and try and catch Tulsa on the break, and very nearly did it there. Great ball by Harry Schwartz, and Santi Moore did great to get on the end of that, and he actually got decent direction on it. He just couldn't get over it to keep it on target. But Tulsa, you were saying, searching for that goal to get them back in this game. 60% possession so far in the second half, controlling the pace, and that's what makes me think, you know, maybe New Mexico United are actually okay with soaking up some pressure, allowing Tulsa a little bit of territory so that they can potentially catch them on the break.
The ball looking for Epps there, and it's cut out by Ryden. Portillo did well to get away from Bird there. There's Moar. He's looking for Schneider Borgelin. And Borgelin has not been very involved here this evening. We haven't called his name a ton.
Yeah, and you could see he wanted to come towards Santi Mora and look for the ball for feet. Santi Mora was looking for someone to run in behind, whether it was Reyes or Borgelin. He was looking for one of them, but both players making the same run, and you can see how animated Coach Eric Quill is on the sideline. He went and stormed back to the bench and sat down on the bench almost in a huff a little bit, with his arms flailing around all over. So yeah, you can see there's a lot of action over on the sideline over there with New Mexico United sub. So maybe around the 65th minute, we can expect to see a change coming.
Fans, we are united in health. Join New Mexico United in our efforts to create a healthier and more vibrant New Mexico at unitedinhealthnm.com. Nelson able to pick this one up. Segrist. For Segrist, it's a rare occasion, but he's actually playing his second game at the Lab this season as a visiting player. This one falls to Reyes. Reyes tried to thread that one through as Portillo was arriving closest to him. Now looking to pick out Philip Goodrum.
Portillo's little pass out there, out to Reyes, the technique, it was so hard to do, and he just made it look so easy. It was on the half volley, and just stroked the ball out to Reyes and made it look like it was nothing. I'm beginning to tell you how hard, like, I felt like if I tried that, I would pull my hamstring or something, and he just did it so effortlessly, and it was, yeah, great little ball out there, and it was a decent little opportunity there for New Mexico.
Portillo, he's really been the midfield maestro for this club the last 2 seasons. Talked about the chances that he creates earlier in the first half, leading the club with 36 this season. Also scored 8 goals last year for the Black and Yellow. Yearwood, good link-up player there with Reyes. Here's Yearwood. Over to Moore now. Borgelin. Borgelin looking for his first goal in Black and Yellow. Yearwood able to sneak through. And Yearwood sends this one into the crowd. We're going to see a substitution here for New Mexico. Armando Moreno will come on to replace Jacobo Reyes. For Armando Moreno, this is his 74th appearance for the Black and Yellow in USL Championship. He did score a week ago today out in San Diego at Torero. That in second half stoppage time to steal a draw once again from Loyal.
So if you're Tulsa, the one thing you don't want to see when you're maybe starting to get a little leggy in the second half here at the altitude and the conditions and chasing the game is a fresh Armando Moreno coming off the bench.
Well, and you know, you factor that in as well as playing on Wednesday. Playing on Wednesday, they were at home against Birmingham Legion as Moreno, no foul, it's all ball, says the official. No complaints from Moreno either. Hughes. Hughes was looking for Josef there. That's the goal scorer, Harry Swartz. Opened up the scoring in the 2nd minute here tonight. Not quite the fastest goal in club history. Certainly one of them. There's Moar. Moar leading the attack now. He's got Moreno arriving. Lays it off for the El Salvadorian, and Moreno has his shot blocked. It was Rashid Tete closing down his former teammate. As those two played together over the past 3 seasons here. They were teammates from 2020, 2021, and of course last season in 2022. I'm sure they went head-to-head a time or two in training. Portillo in no hurry for this Bank of America corner kick here. Sounds like a yellow card was issued to the FC Tulsa bench. Foul called around the 6 there as Tete went to ground. Fiesta Auto free kick gets us restarted. Segrist has that one poked away by Bailey, and Bailey was unable to keep that in.
He's just all action, Bailey, isn't he? Like there, that was won a tackle and almost won his own ricochet as well, but just couldn't quite manage to keep the ball in play. Santi Moore just got a little talking to off the referee as well, because at the end of after just after the free kick was given, he kicked the ball away, so the referee just told him to calm down. Obviously, Santi Moore already on a yellow card as well. You mentioned that earlier about some of the guys walking a little bit of a tightrope.
Good drum shot attempt blocked by Ryden. I'd be curious to see the other subs that Eric Quill brings on. One of the yellow cards taken off in Rodolfo Reyes. So goes back to Rucci. It was worth losing his footing. Big challenge from Harry Swartz. And Swartz just loses his footing, foul called. Free kick here for New Mexico. 65 minutes gone by here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here. This is game 2 out of 4 in 11 days here for us at the Lab. Having played Oakland on Wednesday, at a 2-1 win for Roots. Tulsa here tonight, back again against Lights on Wednesday, and then closing out the 4-game homestand against Eastern Conference opponent Charleston Battery next Saturday.
Yeah, I misspoke in the first half. I said Birmingham Legion were coming to town, but that was right after you were talking about Nico Brett, and got my East Coast guys mixed up. But Charleston doing obviously very well in the East right now, so New Mexico could be a huge win tonight. Big game coming up on Wednesday against lowly Las Vegas.
Segrist has that cross cut out by Ryden. Epps, heavy first touch there, able to retain possession. And eventually wins the corner. Yeah, Lights coming to town on Wednesday, and for Las Vegas, you've probably got to feel a little bit good about themselves the way that things went down the last time they played New Mexico United. Of course, that on the 4th of July out at Cashman Field. It was a second half stoppage time equalizer for the hosts that night. And New Mexico, up until then, Eric Quill had taken over, they were rolling.
I was going to say, like, when you were looking at the fixtures at that time, it was El Paso were absolutely on fire as well. New Mexico United pulled out a 1-0 win against them. And it was it was the same week, right, where they played Las Vegas, and you would think, well, tie against El Paso and a win against Las Vegas, and you would take 4 points from the week and snap your hand off. And they did get 4 points, but they did it in the opposite direction. It was kind of surprising. But then, came back into town, a win against Detroit, and that really enjoyable, if you're New Mexico anyway, that enjoyable win against Sac Republic.
Borgelin unable to get ahead on that cross. Here's Swartz. Finds Moreno. That one, it looked like deflected. Either that or he just mishit it.
That does prove, though, like that little stretch that New Mexico went through there. They do have it in them to go on a run of results. And the coaching staff will be hoping that tonight is the beginning of a new one.
Sub here for FC Tulsa. It's Keegan Hughes. He's going to be replaced by Siad Haji. So for Hughes, second appearance here for Tulsa is in the books for Haji, the 23-year-old out of Somalia. 13 appearances so far this season, make that 14 now. Former MLS man with the San Jose Earthquakes. Also got some time in MLS Next Pro. Played for Reno back in 2020, also in 2019. So former teammates of Sergio Rivas.
And just as we're watching it, it's a little ominous there. Sergio Rivas felt something, hopefully just cramp, but he signaled to the bench immediately that he needed to come out and get off the field, and subbing coming from New Mexico United as well.
So the goal scorer, Sergio Rivas, will exit the match, having scored on Wednesday, having scored here this evening. 6 goals on the season for the Albuquerque native, as his night comes to a close here. So we're going to see Will Seymour, Josh Suggs entering the match here for New Mexico. Zico Bailey will also exit the match. And so looks to be some defensive reinforcements.
Yeah, and some rotation as well. I mean, there's still a good 20 minutes plus injury time. You got to imagine 25 or so minutes left here. And yeah, trying to shore things up at the back. What New Mexico United don't want to do is go too defensive too early, because if Tulsa get a goal in the next 10-15 minutes, it's going to make that end of the game absolutely torture for any New Mexico United fans.
So Bailey's first start, picks up the assist just 90 seconds into the match. And we are now officially in the 70th minute. The 70th minute of this match is brought to you by REDW, an Albuquerque-based CPA firm celebrating 70 years of keeping New Mexico moving forward. New Mexico looking to keep moving forward here as Moreno trying to get on the end of that ball from Moar. Epps now in a foot race with the fresh-legged Will Seymour. Epps showing the wheels. Almost an own goal from Kalen Ryden, but he's able to get it away.
Kalen Ryden had to contort his body in a way that I'm sure he doesn't want to do ever again. You could see the touch, and it was an uh-oh moment there, but Epps showing Will Seymour a clean pair of heels running in behind, and Seymour really didn't have an answer there. And you can see it's the deflection off Tambakis that takes it onto Ryden, and he just manages to hook it away. I'm sure no one is more relieved than Ryden right now.
Absolutely. In the 70th minute, Kalen Ryden nearly notching an own goal as Tulsa once again asking questions here around the New Mexico goal. What a flick on from Borgelin. Moreno is through. He's being hunted down by Rucci. Moreno lays it off for Borgelin. Shot is blocked. Borgelin goes down. And Borgelin eventually drugged down to the ground, and the foul is going to be called against Schneider Borgelin.
I have absolutely no idea how that has gone that way right now. That is the most interesting call. He's literally pulled down to the turf. The only thing I can think of is, you can see there, he's protecting the ball, he's protecting the ball. He's literally got a full on. Look at that. How is that a free kick to Tulsa in any way, shape or form? Unbelievable. And the referee is hearing it from the 10,000 fans or so, however many are in here tonight, and the New Mexico United coaching staff and the entire bench is absolutely incensed. And you've got to see why. There's no, it's plain to see. Plain to see why they're so upset with that.
We get a look over at the bench. Sergio Rivas with a ice pack
on his hamstring. That doesn't look good.
So again, another 2 games coming up here on Wednesday and Saturday for the black and yellow, and so obviously his status will be in question. So Borgelin and Josef getting a talking to here from Gerald Flores. So we have another look here at this TLC replay. And this was the call in question, and it looks like they both had a grab.
No comment.
Borgelin still looking for his first goal here in black and yellow. Moreno pressuring.
What's interesting with the subs is Josh Suggs here. He's stepped on the right side there. Great interception by him there.
Here's Suggs. And on the quick turn, the Las Cruces, New Mexico native just drags it wide.
And obviously Josh Suggs is left-footed, and you would think that maybe he would slot in on the left side and Harry Schwartz switch to this right side. But that's not the case. Schwartz is still on the left-hand side, maybe trying to see if both of those guys can cut in. Maybe that's what Coach Eric Quill and the coaching staff are thinking of, is that they can cut in inverted flying wing backs, as you were. But yeah, it's just interesting to see that, because once I saw Suggs coming on and that Schwartz was staying on as well, it was... I assumed that Schwartz would be jumping on this right-hand side, but New Mexico are not hurting for left-footed players on the pitch right now. Maybe struggling to find spots to put them.
Free kick given here to FC Tulsa. Is Kalen Ryden not happy with the call there. It's Goodrum that went down. Nine goals on the campaign so far for Philip Goodrum. He is the leading scorer for this FC Tulsa club. Coming off an absolutely stellar season in Memphis last year. 22 goals for 901 in 34 appearances. Yosef with a dangerous angle here. And Yosef just overhit that one.
Yeah, that was a wasted opportunity, and you can see we almost got back to that track meet that was at the start. The first 10, 15 minutes or so of the game were breathless, right? And kind of got back to that a little bit, and you would think that New Mexico want to calm things down and maybe control the tempo a little bit more, and you can see there Tambak is just telling everyone to calm down and settle down a bit and just get a grip of this game here and see it out.
Header flicked on by Bird. Epps asking for a foul. He's not going to get it. And we talk about Philip Goodrum winning fouls as him and Tambakis exchanging some words here.
Goodrum's got to be careful here. I think he picked up a yellow card in the first half.
He did. Much ado about nothing, it looks like. Yeah, Goodrum, 40th minute yellow card back in the first half. But as I was saying, Goodrum, he's won 5 fouls tonight. That is more than anybody on the pitch. And I'll give you one guess who's won the second most. Harry Schwartz.
Oh, I was struggling, sorry. Put me on the spot there, man.
Sometimes I wish we had a camera in here so people can see that expression you just gave me when I asked you who was second.
Blank.
That was a deer in the headlights. Forward here for Haji. Here's Epps. Ryden able to win the header. Bank of America corner kick coming up here for the visitors. Corner kick here for Tulsa. The in-swinger goes back post. Bodies flying in the box. Goodrum going to be called for the foul here.
That was a heavy fall by Borgelin as well. He came down. He was completely horizontal when he landed on the ground there. So hopefully he hasn't had the wind knocked out of him there.
Well, we're anticipating 10,000 here tonight, and it is confirmed. 10,130 here tonight for New Mexico United. Fantastic crowd, and they're being treated to a fantastic match.
And like I say, I mean, it's 2-0. You really probably couldn't argue if there was another 2, 3, 4 goals in this game. It's been a very, very entertaining match so far.
Rucci finds Siegrist. Looking for Epps now. Seymour closing down. Epps able to wiggle free. Marcus Epps whips it into the corner, and Tulsa have pulled one back here 78 minutes in.
He gave a little sight a few moments ago, maybe about 5 minutes ago, where he got isolated against Will Seymour. Seymour's really struggled to control him since he's come onto the pitch there, and Epps' pace all night long has caused issues. And he just cuts in on his right foot, and we were right behind it. And as soon as it left his foot, you knew that was going in the top corner. What a strike that was. And Sandbackers dove, but he really could do nothing about it.
7th goal of the season for Marcus Epps. 2nd leading scorer for FC Tulsa. And it is game on here for the final 10+ minutes. We've seen, Chris, New Mexico United struggle with speedy forwards here this season. Marcus Epps continues to cause those problems.
And FC Tulsa looking for their 6th tie against Western Conference opposition tonight. Got one back, and there is so much time left. You can hear the energy. New Mexico United fans were just starting to enjoy themselves. Bunch of chants going around. The thunderclap, I think was that the thunderclap? Yeah, that was going on as well. And now all of a sudden, it's not that you could hear a pin drop, but there's definitely been energy sucked out of the stadium.
And FC Tulsa, they're used to leaving it late. 11 goals in the final 15 minutes of play this season. Only San Diego Loyal with 12 have more. Moore dispossessed. Here's the goal scorer, Marcus Epps. Good defensive work there from New Mexico. It's the veteran Josh Suggs. Only as far as Rucci. The two Spaniards now battling it out. Moar and Rucci. And Rucci is going to win that one.
I think Coach Quill's got to be trying to think of how he can get more protection for Will Seymour on the right side of this back three for New Mexico, because it definitely looks like this is the side that Tulsa have identified as a weak spot, or it's maybe not a weak spot, just Epps is just on his game tonight and can really cause issues. So try and get, this is Josh Suggs, or maybe bring Harry Schwartz onto this side and switch Suggs out to the other side and get Schwartz's pace out on this side just to protect him just a little bit more.
Yosef. It's Haji now all the way back to Rucci. There's Goodrum. Looks like we've got a free kick going back to New Mexico. A couple of substitutions here for the black and yellow as well. So it's going to be Greg Hurst and Nicky Hernandez coming on here for New Mexico. Those substitutions brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. You can see Nicky Hernandez wearing a padded sleeve over that left arm. I understand he had a bit of an elbow issue. So, sure, New Mexico United fans very pleased to see him back on the pitch.
He made an immediate impression when he came on for his debut against El Paso with the assist straight off the bat, where I think even he thought he was offside.
And Nicky Hernandez, he assisted Santi Moar's game-winning goal down there at Southwest University Park 2 minutes into his New Mexico United career. And, he hit the ground running. He really hasn't looked back. Scored a couple of times as well for New Mexico this season.
It's good to see some of these guys. He's been missing for a couple of weeks, and down the stretch, starting to see some of these guys coming back. Austin Yearwood as well was struggling with injuries. Getting some of these guys back from the injury list is good, and obviously New Mexico United hope that Chris Wehan's not too far away. Daniel Bruce is in and around it as well, shouldn't be too far away. Hope that Sergio Rivas' injury tonight is, hopefully that ice is just a precaution rather than anything else, because all those players are going to be vitally important down the stretch here.
Bank of America corner kick coming up here for Yosef. One headed wide, but New Mexico still with some work to do here.
Yeah, and you could see the reaction of Tam Backus. That could have gone anywhere. That could have gone absolutely anywhere, and it was more relief than anything else when it sailed wide. But Tulsa are definitely asking all the questions right now.
Tam Backus will send this one away. Hurst lays this one off for Suggs. The two substitutes linking up here. Suggs looking back for Hurst, asking for a handball. Guilty party would have been Rashid Tete had it been called. And one thing that we didn't get to address in the moment because things were happening so fast, that Kalen Ryden own goal that almost occurred was in the 70th minute. Rashid Tete's own goal the last time these two teams met in the 70th minute. Here's Goodrum. Finds the former Switchbacks man, Segrist, down to Epps now. Into the box. It's Bird. And it's dealt with by Justin Portillo.
It's right-hand side for New Mexico United, left-hand side for Tulsa. Every time the ball's in that area, about 5, 10, 15 yards outside the 18-yard box, you sense the panic in New Mexico United. It was awkward. You've seen the replay there. That was awkward. I don't think there was anything on it. You see Rashid Tete there pointing the exact part of his body that the ball hit. But yeah, you can just see that Epps is just having an absolute field day. And again, going back to it, you feel like if Tulsa is going to get an equaliser, you feel like it's going to come from this left-hand side for them.
Alex Tam Backus, 38 goals conceded on the season so far. Tonight, his 85th USL Championship appearance for the black and yellow. Leno got one touch on it. It's going to be a free kick going back to Tulsa. So while we've got a moment here, fans can't watch the match, turn on at SiriusXM-FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern. As this could be trouble, Tam Backus has to come out. I believe it was, is that Haji making the run? As we were saying, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. SiriusXM-FC 157 in the SXM app. Here's Epps.
There's the extra help that we talked about. 3 New Mexico United players just swarming around Epps as soon as he touches the ball. Recognize the danger that he poses every time he's on it.
Epps looks to be running out of gas here. As Tam Backus sees this one skip right into his arms. What a shift put in by this Tulsa front line. Epps and Goodrum and Yosef have been all over the place here for the better part of 88 minutes. Segrist. Here's Epps.
He's feeling something. I don't know if it's his calf muscles are just starting to cramp up a little bit. Just on his haunches a little bit there, and just he's feeling something for sure. Whether it is just tiredness or whether he's feeling a little strain in one of his muscles, but he's not at full flight right now.
Tulsa still searching for an equalizer late. Here's Segrist. Able to find a pocket. It's headed away by, I believe that was Armando Moreno. We were saying earlier, Segrist, his second match at the Lab as a visiting player, played 57 minutes for Switchbacks. Back on Pride Night, back on June 24th. Before he was moved to FC Tulsa. Moreno gives chase, and Rucci has to play this one back to Nelson. Here's Worth.
Yeah, I think Epps has ran his race. You can see there's a sub waiting to come on now. Can't see who it is, but Epps is not moving nearly as freely as what he was.
Here's Epps off the deflection and goes to ground, does Marcus Epps. And that is going to be the end of the night for the goal scorer, Marcus Epps.
Tremendous performance. It's been an absolute clinic on right footer, playing on this left-hand side, just being able to cut in on his right foot at will, and that goal he scored, an absolute screamer. Could be goal of the week.
Epps, he's going to be replaced by Patrick Weah. Looks like lights just went out over the backside of the New Mexico goal. This could be a potential delay here. Let's see what's going on as you can get a look there at the floodlights. Here, back on, and hopefully should be able to finish the final few minutes here as we are officially now into New Mexico Piñon Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. Looking for Segrist, heads it back across. And it's going to be a New Mexico goal kick.
Still looks like there's some of the lights out, doesn't it? It doesn't look fully... like it's fully back to normal yet. Maybe it just takes a couple of moments for them to warm up, but
New Mexico looking to pick up their first win since July 22nd. It's been just over a calendar month for the black and yellow. Last win coming here at the Lab. It was Meow Wolf night. New Mexico putting a 3-spot past Sac Republic. Segrist, pick up by Harry Swartz. Rucci goes over to Tete. Moreno thought he might have had something. Segrist chasing this one down. Unable to get there in time. And definitely... all the lights are not back on here, but on enough, it looks like. There's the two that are still out. Sam Hamilton just needed a little bit of assistance getting back up to his feet. Got 6 minutes of stoppage time, 2.5 minutes gone by. Rucci heads this one away. Falls to Hernandez. Moreno offside flag goes up. So Tulsa look to restart quickly here. Segrist. Bouncing around, it was Goodrum that went down right into Tambakis' hands. Ball still loose. Tambakis took a shot. Tambakis in obvious pain here. So we'll get another look at this TLC replay. You see Philip Goodrum on the ground. Tambakis unable to grab this one, and I think that's what might have happened.
And see, forward for Tulsa there had every right to go for it as well. Tambakis not clean in his handling. Coughs one up out in front. Really brave to try and get back on it again as well. But you can see what he's feeling. Maybe just got his fingers bent back a little bit or something like that. But New Mexico United need to see this one out here.
Cross goes in from Tulsa. Dealt with here. It's a foot race. Moreno gets there first. And Moreno is fouled. A yellow card comes out. I believe it was Siad Haji. I'll be honest, the patina green numbers on the white kids a little challenging to see for us up here. We'll get confirmation on a yellow card. As Moreno very clearly off to the races there. It was Haji, and Haji knew exactly what he was doing with the challenge.
Yeah, he had to make the challenge, and he keeps Tulsa in the game. I say there's still only a couple of minutes left, but another goal there would have iced it for New Mexico United, that's for sure.
Seymour heads this one back. It only goes as far as Worth. Mexico now back in possession. Here's Weah. Yellow card shown. I believe that was to William Seymour. It's getting a little bonkers here late, Chris.
Yeah, I can't work out how Will Seymour got a yellow card there either. Weah did doing a little Maradona there and just stepped on his foot and fell over, and then Will Seymour got kicked and then got a yellow card for his trouble as well. It's just, yeah, I'm not sure how to explain any of that right now, but this is probably last chance for Tulsa to sling the ball into the box.
Last chance here. And that one goes over everyone. A couple of field signs go down. Tete and Yearwood, a couple of former teammates sharing a hug. And this could be the last kick of the game here. 30 seconds over our minimum of 6 allotted stoppage time minutes. And Segrist called for the foul. He grabbed the arm of Hernandez. One that he already had some padding on. And the crowd getting into it here.
It's great, the tenacity of Nicky Hernandez there. Just won the free kick there, and you do worry when it's the arm that he's been having issues with, and he definitely felt something there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
So Portillo looking to play it over to the corner to Swartz, and that is the full-time whistle at the Lab. New Mexico back in the win column for the first time in over a month. 3 big points to the black and yellow.
Did not matter how New Mexico United got those 3 points. The biggest story is that they got the 3 points, and New Mexico United will be hoping that that's the start of a run.
Tonight's Duke City Cares final score: New Mexico 2, FC Tulsa 1. As Austin Yearwood, we picked up our save of the match, presented by Invigorate Roofing for that block in the 9th minute. That was a big one for Yearwood.
Yeah, and it was, I'm almost certain it was a goal. Huge tackle, and you know, it's not often that a non-goalkeeper gets a save of the match, and that's how special that tackle was.
Kalen Ryden being dubbed our man of the match, brought to you by Pepsi here tonight, as he was all over the place. 9 clearances, 2 interceptions, 4 blocks. Just another day at the office.
And had to be big because Tulsa threw everything and the kitchen sink at them tonight.
Harry Swartz goes with our play of the match for his goal just 90 seconds into this one. It was his 4th of the season. And that one brought to you by Bud Light. So New Mexico, big winners here tonight. We're going to go ahead and step aside. We'll be back on the other side of this to wrap things up. The black and yellow victorious.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
When you get proven quality at
Back in the playoff hunt for the black and yellow, nestled in 9th place as things currently stand. Final score here tonight, New Mexico 2, FC Tulsa 1, brought to you by Duke City Cares. And Chris, let's have a look at our full-time highlights here tonight, presented by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. And we got things started here early. Just over 90 seconds in, Zico Bailey on his first start assisting Harry Swartz.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered for New Mexico United fans. An early goal, great ball in. First touch pops up, and Harry Swartz does exactly what he needs to do, where he just get like a side volley, basically, guides it into the bottom, and Nelson can do nothing about it.
For Harry Swartz, his 4th goal of the season. That is his 10th goal in black and yellow, and immediately after, it looked like Tulsa was going to answer.
Yeah, literally, I think it was from the kickoff there, and Yosef just around them, and what a tackle that was by Austin Yearwood. We said a few times, gets kicked in the face for his trouble as well, but 100% goal-saving clearance there, goal-saving tackle there, and how big was that? How big did that turn out to be in the match?
Absolutely massive, as we'd go on to see. Then it was Sergio Rivas in first half stoppage time, scoring his 2nd goal in as many matches this week.
Great passing. The dummy by Zico Bailey allows the ball to run into Reyes' path, and what a cross where Rivas barely has to move, and using his head to just use all the pace off the cross and just guides it into the back of the net.
And this, an absolute rocket from Marcus Epps. We had the angle on this. Tambakis had no chance.
Absolutely not a chance for Tambakis. And you can see what Epps, every time he got the ball, he got running at full tilt, cuts in on his right foot, and unleashes an absolute thunderbolt.
It was a fun one here tonight as New Mexico victorious 2-1. Let's have a look at our full-time stats here before we get out of here. 17 shots for the home side. You see, FC Tulsa came alive in the second half.
Yeah, it really did, and you can see the possession. They had a lot of the ball, and they asked a lot of questions in New Mexico United. So New Mexico United, again, it wasn't pretty towards the end. They were hanging on a little bit. They won't care about that. What they do care about is they won the game, and they're going home with the 3 points tonight.
Big shout out to the contingent of FC Tulsa fans who made the trip down to the lab. Always great to see some visiting fans here. We go again on Wednesday, Chris, the black and yellow, back here at the lab, hosting Las Vegas Lights. Then again next Saturday as they close out the 4-game homestand against Charleston Battery. If you haven't yet, tickets still available on SeatGeek. Make sure to grab those. Otherwise, hang out with us here on ESPN+. So that's going to do it for all of us here tonight. For our director, Gary Williams, for Chris Hurst on color. My name is Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.